Hi, this is Sarah from the Dice Knights table. I'm here today to talk to you about the setting of Relic Knights, a sci-fi skirmish game with a heavily anime-inspired look. In the beginning, before there was darkness, the United Planetary Alliance spread across a great many galaxies, joining cultures and people together with the promise of support and unity. Not everyone desired this, but trade agreements would still be made and even assistance requested, though naturally these were assigned a lower priority than with Alliance worlds. The Alliance's home galaxy, Foundation, was the hub of most intergalactic travel, as the slip technology they had created was among the most reliable and already designed to work with multiple kinds of ships, as despite Foundation's unified status, the various species and nations still had unique forms of interacting with the universe. The first time a galaxy went dark, over 4,000 cycles ago, it was recorded by some unnamed astrologer, but as the galaxy was uncontacted and so distant, it was written off as a simple aberration, possibly even instrument error. Nearly 1,000 cycles after this first recording, a new astronomer, Alfred Omias, discovered an advancing trend where hundreds of galaxies were no longer visible to any kind of instruments. He dubbed this strange occurrence the dark space phenomenon. But again, all the missing galaxies were distant, and thus the discovery was ignored, though the Alliance would not be so lucky next time. 6 centuries after the dark space phenomenon was named, the next galaxy went dark. Foundation itself had become a lifeless void. To this day, no one knows how it happened. There was a single drone recovered that seems to have been launched during the destruction, though its neural matrix was damaged beyond repair, even its backup memory systems, leaving no clues as to how the galaxy holding one of the greatest civilizations the universe has ever known was reduced to an absolute void. Soon after this event, Omias' research was rediscovered, and the void was named Dark Space. This tragedy greatly increased the amount of interest and applications received by the Alliance and their member nations as people sought greater safety. The doctrine alone quintupled the enrollments into their academies in just 3 cycles as they developed new initiatives and fields of study into the nature of dark space and what quickly became known as the dark space calamity. All this research, however, proved frustratingly ineffective, even with the extra resources provided by the Alliance to help prevent this tragedy from reoccurring. Unfortunately, the doctrine did not find the answers they sought. Eventually, with no sign of the calamity continuing, life returned to normal, and it was nearly 100 cycles after Foundation went dark before another galaxy disappeared, proving that the calamity had continued, though at an unpredictable pace. Decades upon decades would pass without a single galaxy being lost, only for dozens to disappear in a rapid string, and then this string to be followed by centuries of safety. The Alliance bore witness to 3,000 galaxies disappearing after Foundation, leaving just 9 Alliance galaxies and 146 non-Alliance galaxies. The ghost lights of the extinguished stars, all that was left to prove the previous lands existed at all. By this point, an idea had begun to spread among the remaining peoples, that perhaps the calamity was a natural phenomenon rather than an attack as had been previously feared. Perhaps this was simply the end of the universe, and it was better to live well today than to waste energy trying to prevent the inevitable. Eventually, the signs of the calamity approaching began to be known. Crystals of pure esper began to appear on planets and asteroids, the previously rare occurrences having grown to incredible sizes and at unnatural speeds, leaking esperic energy into real space. This discovery made it possible to evacuate galaxies before the people could be consumed like their own stars. The actual disappearance of galaxies was also monitored from a distance to gain greater insight into the calamity in a bid to stop it one day. Unfortunately, this has not yet been successful, and so the calamity has continued until there was only 1 galaxy remaining. In the past 10 years, this last galaxy has seen many strange things, from a mass awakening of every network-connected robot into a sentient species, the esper crystals heralding the calamity beginning to appear, and finally, the emergence of ciphers. The ciphers are beings of pure esper, bonding to people and sharing power with them. These people have become known as knights, for while they are all champions, they are not necessarily heroes. Many of these knights are seen as beacons of hope to the peoples of the last galaxy, particularly those who have been gifted with the asperic constructs known as relics. It was one of these knights who discovered a trigger for the calamity, a person known as Amalile, the Herald of the Void. She was making her way to the origin point, the first place in the galaxy where the Esper crystals had begun sprouting. Fortunately, the knight that discovered this, Captain Harker of the Star Nebula Corsairs, had also found this origin point and recruited 2 Relic Knights known for their influence over more Alliance-aligned people in the galaxy. Princess Malia of the Circe Speed Circuit, and Sebastian Cross of the Shattered Sword Paladins. Together, they attempted to beat Amalile to the location and prevent her from triggering the calamity. Unfortunately, this group was unsuccessful, and Amalile opened the gate for her lord, Harbinath the Void Reaper, to come through to the last galaxy with his army. However, there is still hope, for as he arrived, Harbinath declared that the last galaxy would be where the ruler of the next eon would be decided, and so our hope currently rests upon the shoulders of the knights who would fight for the galaxy and the people in it.